why do some inbound marketing campaigns generate large results where others fail completely? The answer is often strategy. Well-known business person Morris Chang once said, "Without strategy, execution is aimless." Without strategy, you'll likely encounter one of three problems. You're starting a campaign because you're here, but you actually want to be somewhere else. At 3.7 Designs, we call this the gap. Without strategy, you don't have a clear picture of where you want to end up, and as a result, you'll likely end up somewhere else. Or maybe you haven't done enough discovery to understand where you actually are. So while you're actually here, you think you're over here. And as a result, your approach takes you in the completely wrong direction. But when you have a clear understanding of where you actually are and where you actually want to go, you can create an effective strategy that will help you accomplish your goals. Now you might wonder, how do I bridge the gap with an inbound marketing campaign? How do I identify where I'm at now, where I want to go, and create a plan of how to get there? It starts with the understanding of the needs of two different but intertwined groups. First, you have your target audience. And this is an understanding of the problems that they have that you can help them solve. The second group is your business. And this is identifying what you want to accomplish, or in short, the reasons why you're running an inbound campaign to begin with. Once you understand these two groups, you can see where the needs overlap. And that is where you can focus your efforts. Identifying business objectives is generally straightforward. You typically have access to stakeholders, or you might be a stakeholder yourself. You can ask questions and get a good idea of what you're trying to accomplish. Understanding your audience is a bit more challenging, because specifically, you need to understand the entire journey they experience from start to finish. Every buyer's journey starts with a trigger, which is some realization that they have a problem that they might need to solve. This leads to identifying ways to solve the problems, including considering specific solutions, and then finally making a buying decision. Now, once you have an understanding of the journey, you can create what we call a user model. This is a fictional representation of your target audience that captures an understanding of their psychology and thought process. It starts by documenting what emotions and motivations are driving their actions, then expands to understand what they are doing and thinking during this process. What questions do they have? What objections prevent them from moving forward? Then finally, we add a personality and story to bring them to life. Now we can take our user models and our business objectives and find the overlap we discussed earlier. Now this overlap, or these overlapping needs, drive the four key segments of your inbound strategy. Attention, how do we get in front of our ideal audience? Engagement, what is our audience looking for and how can we help them succeed? Lead capture, what value can we offer that they will exchange their contact information for? And lead nurturing, how do we continue to add value and nurture them towards a sales conversation? Now, some of the common deliverables that we include in an inbound strategy include campaign objectives, where we define what is this place that we want to go to? What does it look like? What type of goal is this? And how are we going to measure success? Where are we at now? And where do we want to be? Job to be done statements, where we distill your target audience's problems into a concise statement to understand the deep underlying emotional motivators. Empathy maps, where we look at the underlying psychology that's driving behavior, including what are they feeling? What are their logical thoughts? What emotions are driving their actions? And what anxieties do they have? Buyer journey maps, where we map out every stage of the buyer's journey so we understand what are those triggers that causes your prospect to start doing research to identify how can they solve the problem and every step they go through leading up to making a sale and being happy with their decision. Competitive audits, so we understand where you fit within the ecosystem. Brand tone, so we can figure out what is the proper messaging and what should the look and feel convey. Call to action strategy, where we identify what calls to action we need across your digital properties and what will inspire your prospects to act. User flows, where we look at the various different landing pages on your website and how we would like prospects to navigate through the site based on where they are in the buyer's journey. And then individual strategies for key pages on your site, So we can understand how certain pages or sections of your site fit within the greater picture and what we want people to do on those pages and what those individuals are trying to do on those pages. So again, we can kind of highlight that core overlap. Using this approach, we've helped multiple clients increase their leads by over 1,000%. So if you need help with your inbound strategy, please contact us today. We would love to help.